but another fish. They're little guy.
Look at that little tiny one in your hand here. Let's see what he looks like.
Yep.
Oh, good colors to him.
See that? Really nice looking fish.
All right, so this is Holly Creek. I don't know if you guys have been here before. It's our first time here, and we're down here in this area just below the first bridge. Reason being, there's 4 guys fishing up at that bridge up there. From what we're told, that is the best spot. Really, really deep hole, holds a lot of fish, and you can see, I'm gonna let him cast. Right up here, there's another hole right up there, and there's 3 people fishing in that hole. Now we found a couple fish on the far side here, and Troy has actually got a couple fish down on a pocket down there. And we're trying to see if we can get some of these fish to play today.
This one. Ooh. Oh, that one came through there just perfect. I'm just gonna scoop them up. Got it.
Got him.
Yeah, so look at this fish.
Green label. Good looking fish right
That
there.
is a good looking fish. Look at the colors.
Ooh, man, he's a scrappy.
Troy.
Scrappy little guy. Yeah, that garlic chartreuse has been on fire today for me. There we go.
Woo. You guys don't know how bad we want to go upstream and hit that hole at the bridge. You know, we drove by and the guys looked at us and said, there's no fish around here. We said, what are you talking about? There's like 50 fish in that hole. But there's 4 people up there doing their thing. We're gonna leave them alone, do our thing. And we do see pockets of fish around here too. I mean, we see some, a couple way over there. There's a couple at the end of that hole right there. I think Kyle just got a bite.
There's one.
Oh, no. Oh, good one too.
Yeah.
You know, so we see some across the way, and then we see some in a little pocket right down here, right behind one of the big rocks that Troy's drifting down to. Keep in mind, when you come to a place like Holly, make sure you downsize. What I mean by that is you don't need anything heavier than 2 or 4 pound test. You only want really tiny BB split shots.
Ooh,
And something like a size 12 or 14 fire hook, simply because this water is so clear that you can see the fish and the fish can see you. That's why we're standing over here in the shade, because we don't want to spook all these fish that we're spotting from area to area here.
Ooh, there's a fish. There he is. That's a nice one too. There's that net. Oh, got him. Another nice, beautiful fish.
Tell you what, there's an egg bite going
Not
on.
the biggest, but net's being used, so I'm gonna just do a smooth one, but little guy. All right, so we're fishing a gin clear stream today, and so I'm gonna tone it down with my fire float, size 12 fire hook, and then I'm using the green label Pautzke's, the original. These are really good, and nice small presentation should be the trick today. We'll see. And then we're gonna get this thing hooked up here. Again, I like the size 12, good barb, kind of a more open gap. And then I'm gonna go dead center. They're very nice, they're nice and soft. I'm gonna run that up just past. I like it like that, so when that fish takes it, it gets that hook right in its mouth. There's one. Okay. The biggest guy in the world, but he's right in the cork nose of the mouth. Look at this.
No, we're gonna turn the other way. There you go.
Awesome. Not a bad fish. Not a bad fish at all. Yeah. Number 3.
Good looking fish.
All right, as you can see here, we're fishing this smaller stream. It's really gin clear, but I'm gonna be using this garlic chartreuse fire bait. And I'm using a size 12 hook. And I'm using a couple small split shots. And the reason for these small split shots next to the hook is I don't want this stuff floating up off the bottom. I want to keep it down towards the bottom. Again, we're in a small stream, and I'm also using a fire float. And the reason for this fire float is I don't want it to sit on the bottom. I want the current will actually push on that fire float and make it move along the bottom a little bit better. So you just take, and I don't like to use a big blob. I just use a little bit, enough to cover the hook. I'll roll it into a worm. I'll stick it on that hook. And I'll leave the barb even exposed. But that's all you need. And then it looks alive. That's the whole key here, is to make it look alive. These fish, they like live things. And if that's moving around down there, you're gonna get bit. There's one, he's in the bushes.
Man, how are you gonna get this one? You might have to come up here.
Oh, there he is.
He's wrapped. You got him? Got him?
Yep.
Lift him, lift him.
There we go.
Woo! Oh,
I
man.
think I was gonna get that
I'll
one.
tell you what, you know, we have been catching most of the fish up here and the bite kind of slowed down a little bit. So we came down here and pitched right in this little back eddy right here. And sure enough, there were trout down there too. It just shows you sometimes you got to move after you catch a couple and you still be in the game. Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you roughly an hour and a half from Atlanta. We're on Holly Creek for the first time. Now, we have never been here before simply because nobody's ever recommended we come here before. Now, we were here because Georgia DNR told us you may be missing out on one of our favorite places to stock. Now, Holly Creek, as I mentioned, is about an hour and a half from Atlanta. It's actually way closer to Chattanooga than anywhere else. And it's a section of creek that's stocked from the Emery Creek trailhead downstream past what you call Holly Creek picnic area. You can find that on Google Maps. You're going to go downstream. They go and they stalk through the bridge crossing all the way down to where the National Forest land starts. Now, this area, it could be roughly 2 miles. I may be off just a little bit, but it's stocked every week with 1,000 trout. I'm going to say that again, 1,000 trout. It's incredible. We're talking last week in March, all the way through 4th of July, it gets that many fish. Now, it also gets that much fishing pressure, so much so that we're in the lowest hole that we could find where there were trout. You see us sitting in one area about 20 to 30 yards long. That's because every other hole that we saw had people on it. That was during the weekday. That's okay. We still caught plenty of fish here, all rainbows, mostly 9, 10, maybe 11-inch fish. And they all came in this super gin clear stream that is located along Old CCC Camp Road. And you'll be able to see right where it parallels if you look at Google Maps. And there's plenty of public access because this is National Forest land. It's an excellent place to go trout fishing. Now, all of our fish today came on 2 baits. They came on the world famous green label Pautzke salmon eggs. And then, of course, chartreuse garlic fire bait. Now, we like to use these two because think about it. They're 2 different baits that kind of serve the same purpose. Sometimes fish want dough bait, sometimes they want salmon eggs. More importantly, we fish these on a correct size hook. This is a size 12 fire hook with a fire float. Why? Because they're small. This water is super clear. You're going to spook the fish if you don't do something like this. We saw a lot of people up here with bass type gear, heavy gear. You don't need that up here. This water is super clear and you're not going to catch anything over a pound and a half if you're lucky. Come with light tackle and enjoy the fight. Now remember, you may have to walk around and find your own favorite area because this place is super popular, as close to Atlanta and the Atlanta metro area as it is, and as easily accessible as it is. You get people coming down from the Chattanooga area because fishing is so good here. You get people coming up from Atlanta. Anywhere along I-75 is really easy for folks to get here. So we enjoyed this area and we encourage you to come out and find your new favorite hole here on Holly Creek. Pautzke products are available at sporting goods stores near you. If you can't find the specific color, size that you want, make sure to go to Pautzke.com. And as a thank you for watching Pautzke Outdoors, we're going to show you a coupon code to be used for 10% off your next order.